excited to be here again this week as we come together and create our drawing of a chameleon. So this is kind of going to be like a how-to video. We'll walk through step by step how to draw a chameleon together. And if you can see the computer screen behind me, that is a picture of a veiled chameleon. And veiled chameleons have what they call a crest on the top of their head. And so that's the chameleon that we will be drawing and working on today. And so I am very excited to go ahead and get started. So you will need paper. You can use regular size paper. I was going to draw on larger paper just so it'd be easier for you to see. You'll need a pencil, coloring utensils, a black marker. You can draw with your pencil and then trace over it with your black marker. Or if you feel comfortable and you just want to draw straight up with your marker, you can. I'm going to do that, and just so that it will show up darker than a pencil mark would on the paper so that you can see it very well. But we will go ahead and get started. The first thing that we will start with is the chameleon's eye. Now, you're going to imagine your paper has an imaginary line down the middle, across the middle. And you can turn your paper horizontally, like this, or vertically. Any way that you want to have your paper turned, you can turn it any way. But just imagine a line going across the middle of your paper. And you are going to draw the chameleon's eye above, right above that line. And kind of on this side of the paper. Closer to over here, but above that middle imaginary line. So his eye, we'll start with one circle. So, and then we will draw another smaller circle inside that. And then we'll draw a very small circle that we'll color in black. And that's going to be the chameleon's eye. Then we are going to start with his head, like his forehead and coming down through his nose where his mouth would go. So we're going to kind of go up a little bit from the edge of the eye, and we'll come down with his forehead, his nose, and that'll kind of be his mouth right there. So the next thing that we're going to add on our chameleon is his bottom lip and kind of chin. So we'll add that. Kind of like, it looks like a big smile, kind of. So we'll do that. And then we will add his crest. And his crest is going to be about as tall as the head is big. And it kind of looks like a shark's dorsal fin, kind of. So there we go. There's his, or maybe a big butterfly wing, kind of, or an elephant's ear. But so this, we'll do his crest. Next, we will continue with his body. And we're going to imagine like a big circle. We're not going to draw the full circle. We're going to stop about halfway. But we're going to start kind of right where his head line started right here. This is where we'll start to draw his body. And it's going to just kind of be like a big half circle. So we'll draw it kind of like that. His big half circle. This is his back and spine, and his tail will come around. And chameleons keep their tails rolled up, or sometimes they'll wrap it around a branch that's below them or anything like that. And chameleons have their hands, their claws are almost kind of like hands. They have kind of like they're split in two, and so they can grab and hold. They're so very graceful. We had a chameleon, and they're so graceful, just the way they walk and hold on to things. But so that's kind of how we're going to do his hands when we get ready to do those. So we've got his back coming around here with his tail. Then the next thing that we're going to do is his legs. So we're going to imagine this line that's coming from the bottom of his chin here. This is where his leg will start. So we're going to draw kind of one curvy line up for his leg, and another one that'll kind of be like the underside of his leg. They kind of have like bent frog legs, kind of. So then we'll come down with his knee, and then the lower part of his leg. And then we're going to do the same thing with his front leg. So we will start, we're going to kind of bring curvy line back, and then another curvy line, and this will kind of be like the elbow or kneecap that kind of bends. We'll draw it back that way, and then the top part of it. So there's, we have his head, his crest, his body, his tail outline. Then we are going to finish up the bottom of our chameleon's belly and his tail. So we're going to start down here from our chameleon, and we'll finish his body. We'll take it to kind of about where his arm is bent, down here. And his tail gets kind of smaller as it gets to, it's very tapered. It's wider up to where his body is, and then it gets smaller as it comes around. So we'll start it like this, and we'll let it get really smaller. So we kind of got something like this. We're going to go onto the bottom line right here, and we're going to make it like a circle, like his tail is spiraled up. And we'll come down and connect it. And then you still have this open line here. And with this open line, you're going to draw just a spiral in it like that. So you have his tail. This is, you know, how it's going, but it's floating in mid-air. So we're going to draw our chameleon on a tree branch. So you can imagine a branch coming in here. And you can make it meet right up to his belly if you want to, so that he is kind of like he's resting his belly onto the branch there. Then we'll come around with the bottom part, and we're going to stop before we get to his arm. We're going to leave a space, and we're going to draw his part of his hands or his claws going around the top, and then we're going to come around and then draw his bottom hands, like he's holding the bottom of the branch. And the same thing with his back one. So we kind of got that, and if you can imagine like he's holding on to the branch. Then we'll finish the branch across. And if you want to draw some extra little twigs coming out on it, you can, and then you can go back and put some leaves on it. You can even, if you wanted to, make it a tree, and you can kind of do some bark on it, and then that way it does look more like a tree that he's on. So the very last thing that we'll do to finish up the drawing is we're going to add the spikes on his back. And then any markings. The chameleons have all these different really pretty markings on their body. So we're just going to come around his spine and go to this tail, right, kind of where it ends right here on the bottom. And we're just going to make these little spikies. So put all these little spikies going around his back spine. And they kind of get a little bit smaller as they get to his tail. And you can make them go on or kind of disappear wherever you want to. And make them just be like little tiny little spikes. Alright, so then, like I said, you can start to add the markings on your chameleon. So you might want to look up some pictures of chameleons, or maybe if you're in class, you could kind of do some research and find out about chameleons, where they live and what they eat and everything. And just see some different pictures of them. And there's all different kinds of species of chameleons too. But like I said, this is a veiled chameleon that we're drawing together. So we'll come around, we'll put his little markings on him, going all through his tail here. And then we'll have some coming on his leg here. And there is your chameleon. If you want to, after you get it all, if you drew it with your pencil and then after you trace over it with your black marker, you can use your coloring utensils and color it, or just leave it black and white if you wanted to. And then you might want to maybe just do a little bit of shading in certain areas underneath his arms down here. But however you wanted to do this, you can finish this up anyway. I want to give a shout out to the class that I visit at Heath Springs Elementary, Miss Allen's class, and they actually kind of gave me the idea to do a directed drawing, like a how-to drawing together. So I just wanted to say hey to them and thank you for the great idea. If anybody else has ideas, please list them in the comments below. As always, take a picture of your work and post it on social media and tag us, the Lancaster County Council of the Arts, in it, and so that we can see that what we're working on together. And you can leave your suggestions there or on the video in the comments below, just anywhere. Next week, we will come together and create a bird art. So we will be making a picture of a bird. You will need your coloring utensils, construction paper, plain paper, scissors, glue. If you want to, you can get some like craft feathers, like that you might find in the craft section, some fake feathers, some fake grass or straw you'll need so we can make a nest for it. But I look forward to next week as we come together and create our bird. I'll see you then. Thanks.